Will the real Denver Broncos please stand up? That is the question that everyone is asking today. Hello, everyone. Welcome inside Upon Further Review with B-Marsh and Michael, presented as always by WinBet. Glad to have you with us as we recap Week 10 and a disappointing effort by the Denver Broncos as they fall to the Philadelphia Eagles 30-13. We're going to get right into it, and we're going to go right into what's on B-Marsh's mind today. What's on B-Marsh's mind, presented by First Bank, banking for good. And B-Marsh, I'm going to set you up for this one, because it is the play that everyone is talking about today in Broncos country. It is blowing up Twitter. The tackle attempt that wasn't from Teddy Bridgewater. Let's get into it. Your thoughts on what happened?
Well, Teddy B, and the B is for business decision. He gave a Cam Newton-esque type of effort on that play. And it's crazy because, that wasn't the play that lost him the game.
Right.
But it could have been the play that saved it, because it was 20-13, okay? He makes that tackle. Defense was playing stellar in the third quarter. He makes that tackle, maybe a 3-and-out for, six plays and a punt. Who knows what would have happened? And so, and hearing Teddy say something about, pushing him back inside. Come on. I'm not hearing none of it. It comes down to, are you a winner or are you not? I've seen they literally put on Twitter clips of Peyton making a tackle. Come on. If Peyton's old, decrepit self with bow, if he can make a tackle, come on, Teddy. Come on.
Yeah, and it's really interesting to see the dynamic here, because it feels like probably 90% of the people are with you, and I'm with you. I think you got to at least attempt, right? Because you look at where they are and where Teddy has a chance to just lay out, man, just try and swipe the leg. Even if you get a tripping penalty, whatever, they're at the 50-yard line.
Yeah.
So you're right. That defense can come back out onto the field in a 7-point game in the fourth quarter and maybe get you a stop. It made no sense to me, Brandon, to see that. And I don't understand the Teddy apologists here. Yeah. And I think you make a good point. That was not the play that lost them the game. There were a bunch of other issues yesterday in that game.
Sure.
Melvin Gordon holding on to the football is one of the issues as well. But for people to sit there and defend Teddy Bridgewater by saying, oh, well, Peyton wouldn't have run 30 yards and tried to make the tackle. Tom Brady wouldn't have run 30 yards and tried to make the tackle. Okay, not only is there video out there of Peyton making a tackle as a Bronco,
right,
but also I trust Tom Brady and Peyton Manning to go recoup those 7 points.
Yeah, 100%.
Even if they do make a business decision.
Because they're competitors. They're winners. They want to win, right? So, Teddy, if you want to win over the fan base, right? I mean, first of all, they're calling for Drew Lock. They want Drew Lock. It just is what it is, right? But that could have helped your case with the fan base, right? Now they really want you out of there, And so I still think Teddy is the guy for the job, but now I'm questioning, how much do you want to win,
So, Brandon, that's an important part, and this is part of the reason why I love hearing from former players on this. Now you're questioning how much do you want to win. Does that mean that people inside that locker room, maybe especially on that defense, are questioning that out of their quarterback?
Man, absolutely. Because now, first of all, they're going to watch this film and some of the offense guys are going to show the defensive guys and like, yo, look at this. And they're going to be like, yo, come on. Like, look, we love Teddy. I'm sure everybody loves Teddy around the locker room, but you're just going to second guess, how bad does he really want it? How bad do you really want it? Lay your body on the line. This is the game of football. I know you're a quarterback, but I don't care. Because look, punters, kickers, they throw their body out at times. So why can't you?
Love that. Love that point. I was interested to hear your take on that as a former player. And I think that a lot of former players are going to feel that same way. And again, that play didn't cost them the game necessarily, but it sure as heck swung the momentum. And even if Teddy just makes an effort, we're not talking about it. You know what I mean? But the fact that there wasn't even an effort made.
He like fleshed at him. You saw he like he gave him one of these, and I don't know if maybe he thought Slay was going to get started or flinch back, but I can't believe that. I truly can't believe it. When I watch the replay, I'm sitting in, I go like this. I'm on the couch and I'm like, yo, I can't believe what just happened. First of all, the fumble return all the way back, which is crazy. But I get it because I'm pretty sure that I think it was in 13 personnel, 3 tight ends,
Yeah.
2 personnel, 2 tight ends, 2 backs. But so there was nobody to really run them down. They had no real receivers. But Teddy, you can't give them, you can't. Oh man, this is it is fitting, I guess.
It's kind of a microcosm of the Broncos right now, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
And that's really scary, but like, oh, we're only going to go halfway in. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of a microcosm of where they are and where this season is. And you're right. It was an incredible set of circumstances because not only does Melvin Gordon not hold on to the ball, and he's got to take blame for that. Absolutely. There's plenty of blame to go around here. But then the Broncos had all their heavy personnel on the field because they were going for it on 4th and 1. Slay's the fastest guy on the field. He's the one that happens to get the ball. And then he's off to the races.
Ain't that crazy? It's almost like the kick six, right? Because those situations, the kick six, if the returner gets the ball and gets past a couple guys, it's ugly. It's ugly. So, Teddy was the hope right there. There's a tight end. Melvin was trying to run, and he ended up getting blindsided. So, look, after that play, the game was over, unfortunately.
It really was.
A winnable game for the Broncos. This is one that they really needed.
So, Brandon, what stood out to you the most in this game? Because I think there were a couple things that I saw or felt that I was like, wow, I really didn't expect this, especially coming off that win over the Cowboys. I didn't expect the Broncos to come out flat yesterday the way that they did. I mean, all of a sudden they're down 10-0, and credit Jalen Hurts. That was an incredible pass to Devontae Smith. But I didn't expect them to come out flat yesterday. And then I don't want to say they rolled over toward the end because I don't think that's the case. But I didn't think that their offense would struggle as much as they did yesterday. Let's talk about defense first and what Jalen Hurts was able to do to them, because we talked about this in our last episode. How do you go about slowing down Jalen Hurts? The Eagles ran the ball for 214 yards yesterday. That's a new season high for this Broncos defense. After the game, we hear from Draymond Jones, and he says, hey, it's on the players and it's on the coaches. And he kind of clarified his statement today via Twitter just about 30 minutes ago before we started taping this podcast. What happened with that Broncos defense yesterday that they were that Philly was just allowed to basically go up and down the field at will?
Well, first of all, look, Jalen Hurts is a dynamic player. He's a dynamic quarterback. I don't think he gets the respect that he's earned. And I know people have called him for maybe his replacement. They traded for Gardner Minshew, whatever the case may be. But Jalen, I truly think, it's funny because he got replaced at Alabama for Tua. Yeah. I think Jalen had the better pro career than Tua, And so I think, but they faced a Lamar Jackson, right? They faced a mobile quarterback. So I don't know what it is because, first of all, the Broncos are 2-3 at home. When I was playing, we used to have home field advantage at Mile High was a real thing.
Yes.
No longer a thing. It is no longer a thing. And probably kind of went away towards the end of my time with Denver, And it's funny because I don't know. It's truly they just came out flat. They just came out flat. People were missing tackles. Kyle Fuller, looked a little pedestrian yesterday. The inside backers, Curtis Robert. Look, first of all, they need another inside linebacker.
Still.
Oh my, yeah, look, Kenny Young is a good player. I like Kenny. But they need another inside backer because it is getting terrible, and they let them boys run for 200-plus yards. You can't win like that.
It's crazy. I'm not ignoring you here. I'm pulling up a stat because you mentioned home field advantage and what it has become. And Andrew Mason, who does a fantastic job covering all things Broncos, tweeted this out. I guess this was late last night. The Broncos have 7 double-digit home losses in the last 2 seasons. Out of 13 games that they have played at Mile High, they've lost 7 of them by double digits. They have never had that many double-digit home losses in a 2-season span until now.
Ain't that crazy?
And they still have 4 home games left, he points out.
It's wild. I don't know what happens to the Mile High magic. Those days, it seemed like they're over. People can come into Denver and just, we're supposed to have an advantage because we're at elevation, but they and they just do what they want. We're at the mercy to the other team. So, it sucks. We got to have a little more pride about ourselves in Denver. There's no way that team should beat us 30-13. if anything, it should have been the other way around,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because the Eagles are not a complete team. They're missing a lot of pieces. And you know, we might have just helped save their season or semi-helped save their season because they were 3-6 going to 3-7. That means the season's over.
And one of those 3 wins was against the Lions.
Exactly.
Who were terrible.
Let's be real. Let's be real.
So, Brandon, I think that's part of what people are struggling with today is who is this Broncos team, right? And I kind of asked that facetiously as we open the podcast. But I don't know. And, like, you made the comment last week when we were talking about the Cowboys game and how I told you I was waiting for the Cowboys to do something and turn that game around. And you were like, yeah, it's like Broncos country has PTSD. And I love that comment. I felt that going into yesterday's game, like, I don't know which team is going to show up. Yeah. And then they come out and lay an egg. And I think that's what's so confounding and what's so frustrating for this fan base right now. Mm-hmm. Who are the Denver Broncos? Because are they the team that goes to Dallas and beats the Cowboys and then Cowboys turn around and lay a smackdown on the Falcons yesterday? Or are they the team that comes out and lays an egg at home and loses by double digits to an Eagles team that had just 3 wins all season?
They're inconsistent.
Yes.
And that's the problem because, you know, we're trying to figure out who this team is, but they don't even know who they are.
Yeah.
They don't have an identity. And that's a real issue for this team, for this franchise, because the Broncos used to have a true identity, you know, whether it's Peyton in the offense scoring 40 points or 30 points a game, or, you know, once Peyton started to get a little older, you know, the Broncos defense shutting it down and keeping the offense in games or keeping the team in games. Now we don't know who they are. They don't have an identity. It's supposed to be no fly 2.0. It's not that, not even close. No. And, you know, I know we talked about, you know, even before a couple weeks ago, talk about, you know, have a players only meeting and yada, 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 yada. I don't know what they could do now. I don't know. I don't know, man.
Honestly, I think they should just get away. Like, yeah. I know you're probably not a fan of this. Go in, watch the tape today, get it over with, and then get away. Give them Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday off. We'll see you next Monday. Forget about what just happened and do some soul searching on the bye week because I think they need to do some serious soul searching because they got to figure out what kind of team they want to be. And I think that's on the coaching staff, and I think it's on the players too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, because you go in and you handle the Cowboys. Cowboys are, you know, by some pick to be, you know, maybe the NFC favorite or maybe not even a favorite, but at least to go deep in the playoffs. And the Broncos went into Dallas and handled them. So I'm thinking, okay, this team has potential. Yeah. You know, this could be a playoff team, right? They could be dangerous when they're on their game. The problem is their ceiling. I think their ceiling is pretty decent, but their floor is really low. Yeah, their floor is really low. So you know, we don't really know, and it's like every Sunday is like a new adventure. We don't, you know, it's interesting to watch.
And I think what makes it more confounding is that they went to Dallas and won that. Because B-Marsh, you and I were talking about this, right? Like just 2 weeks ago, prior to that game against Dallas, we were looking at this team. Okay, they're 4-4. They just traded away Von Miller. They're probably going to go to Dallas and lose. And then they're probably going to come home and beat Philadelphia. They're going to be 5-5 at the bye. And we'll kind of assess some things, but that would actually be pretty decent. You reverse it. And it happens in the manner in which it happens, and it's like all hell is breaking loose because what is going on? I would have expected them to lose to Dallas and beat Philly and been okay with it. But they go to Dallas and they beat Dallas, and then they lose to Philly, and I'm all of a sudden not okay with it.
That's because our expectations it raised a little bit. After they beat the Cowboys, our expectations raised by, okay, so this is the type of team that we can be. And because they didn't live up to that expectation, that new set, you know, or that newfound expectation from Broncos country, from the media, reporters, even probably their own team. Now it's like, yo, hold on now. Wait. This is looking like a team that losing 3-4 in a row. You know, so I mean, Mike, it's I don't even know what to say because it's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, they reel you back in, and then as soon as they reel you in, it's like SOB, man, same old Broncos. When we come up, we're talking about how they don't have an identity. I think they actually do have an identity, but they refuse to stick to it. Some puzzling numbers on the offensive side of the football, plus we will hand out some grades on our report card. That and more coming up next right here on Upon Further Review with B-Marsh and Michael, presented as always by WinBet. Welcome back inside Upon Further Review with B-Marsh and Michael, presented by WinBet. Glad to have you with us as we continue to recap yesterday's loss to the Eagles. And Brandon, one thing that continues to stand out to me in the Broncos' losses is their reluctancy to just run the football. Okay, I'm gonna throw out some numbers here. In their 5 losses, they have run the ball an average of 18 times. In their 5 wins, they've run the ball an average of 31 times. Now, I know late in the game, when you have the lead, you're running the football more. I know all the coach speak that they will give us. Right. But to me, this screams run the football more, even in your losses.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, this game was within reach. I mean, almost the whole game, to the fourth quarter until, the Darius Slay touchdown. And even then, I'm still optimistic about what could happen. First of all, we have a great tandem. I think we have one of the best tandems right now in the league as far as running backs goes, okay? And those guys have less than 10 carries. Now, this offense is not an explosive offense.
Yes.
Okay? We're not explosive offense, so we have to do what we do best. And look, I know we call for Shermer's, head. We try to – they want to decapitate him, but maybe if he was there, it would have been better.
Man, you know what I was hoping yesterday was that Mike Shula was going to come in and Mike Shula was going to lead the Broncos to 35 points and he was going to run the football and everybody was going to be like, see, this is what we've been talking about. That was certainly not the case yesterday. Let's jump into our report card segment. Report card segment brought to you by Flock Homes. Smarter rental property ownership starts here. Visit flockhomes.com to learn more. B-Marsh, I know you're handing out a grade to Mike Shula, so give it to me.
Yeah, I'm giving Shula, man. I gotta give him a D-. Right. Actually, you know what? Let me stop. You said no minuses, plus.
No minuses, no pluses. What you got?
Cool. Let me give him an F. I'm giving him an F because he could have controlled the clock better. All right. I was being nice. Let me not be, nice. I'm giving him an F. This was his opportunity.
Yeah.
And maybe because it was his opportunity, he was trying to be sexy. He was maybe trying to be sexy because passing the ball and throwing is a lot sexier than it is pound and pound, running the football, controlling the clock. And I think that was his downfall. That was his downfall. That was his time to shine. And, he fell by the wayside. So, I'm giving him an F. He could have done a lot better.
And what's funny is yes, passing the ball and what the Rams do and what the Chiefs do, it's sexy. It gets all the highlights. We would be sitting here pouring praise on Mike Shula had he just run the football. Yeah. And, I mean, they go from 190 yards against the Cowboys to 96 yards against the Eagles.
Come on. And both the running backs are stellar.
Yes.
Melvin is, and now I know Melvin, his contract and, next year what's going to happen. But this is a good 1-2 punch. They might want to, restructure Melvin, let him play again, with Javonte. But those are almost, I'm not going to say the best weapons because you got Cortland, you got Judy, but they're the most consistent weapons you have. Javonte's consistent with how he runs. There's angry runs, right? Melvin is explosive. He can catch the ball at the backfield. He can hit the home run or, when you hand him the ball. So you got to use your best athletes, your best players, and he failed to do that yesterday.
What's crazy, too? You look at the numbers. They were 1 of 11 on third down.
Sickening.
They couldn't stay on the field.
Sickening.
1 of 5 inside the red zone. Now, one of those was late in the game. They were going for it. Didn't really have an impact on the game. The other was obviously the blocked field goal.
I kind of wonder because there was 1 for 11 on third down. I kind of want to know the first down stats. Was it average yards per play on first down? Because when I was playing, they spoke on win first down. We got to get to third and manageable, okay? And so if they're 1 for 11, I'm pretty sure there was 3rd and 8. They were in 3rd and 9, 3rd and 7, And it's tough, man. We got to get to the third and manageables. That's why it's the first and second down is so important. Really, first down is extremely important. You got to win that.
Yeah, and they didn't do that yesterday. And you go back to that fumble, and they come out in the fourth quarter down by 14, 15 minutes on the clock, and it's pass completion for a loss of 9, and then pass incomplete punt. Very next series, pass incomplete. Pass completion for no gain, pass incomplete, punt. Ball game's over.
Ball game.
I mean, you're at that point you were down 30-13, but you started that quarter down 14 and you didn't even run the ball once. And
No.
what's crazy is everybody's like, well, they don't run the ball in their losses, blah, blah, blah. Well, look, their average yards per attempt, their highest average yards per attempt this season. The Ravens, the Giants, the Steelers, the Raiders, and the Eagles. They lost 4 of those games. So they're running the ball well in those losses. They're just not running it enough.
Yeah. And the Ravens, look, they couldn't stop Lamar. Lamar went crazy on them.
Yes.
That's what it was with them. But this game, if they would have ran the football, because, look, they came out in the third quarter hot. I'm watching this defense. I'm like, yo, Justin Simmons interception. I'm like, yo, this team, okay, cool. This is our half. We're going to win this ball game. And then what just happened? What just happened? The block field goal, right? I mean, they drove down. They were driving. They were doing well in the third quarter, man. And I think they just got deflated.
Yeah.
After that.
So when we come back, obviously the Broncos now heading into their bye week. We will talk about how they get inflated on their bye week. And was a sleeping giant awakened yesterday? Ooh, I think so. We will talk about what happened around the league next, right here on Upon Further Review with B-Marsh and Michael, presented by WinBet. Welcome back inside Upon Further Review with B-Marsh and Michael, presented by WinBet. It is time to go around the league, brought to you by Nissan. Choose Nissan today for great offers on their most exciting lineup ever. Shop NissanUSA.com. B-Marsh. Woo, the Kansas City Chiefs. So they took some smelling salts. They are awake. They are live. We've been talking. I've been waiting for this, right? Every week I bet on the Chiefs to bounce back. Last week I bet on the Raiders, and of course, when you know it, the Chiefs come out and hang 40 plus on Vegas last night. I think they're awake. Is that for real?
Looks like it. I mean, I just saw an interview when I woke up. Travis Kelce said he hit the shimmy. He said, "I think I got my swagger back." Yes. I think he did. The team looks like they got their swagger back. The defense stepped up. Okay, again, they played well, held the team to 14 points. I don't know what Deshaun Jackson was doing that play. It was kind of crazy.
Mind-boggling.
Yeah, it was.
Like, did he get disoriented? Too much time on the strip the night before? Like,
oh man, but I'm trying to put myself in his shoes. He caught the ball, started running, then he saw him, and maybe he was gonna cut back and turn this way, but it was just. But why not go up, go straight?
Right. Go to the end zone where nobody is between you and 6 points.
I don't know what's going on, but look, all I know is the Raiders look pedestrian. I know I picked them to finish number 2 in the division. It still may happen, but ever since this Henry Ruggs situation, it looks like it's just deflated the team. The team morale is low, but the Chiefs look like they're back. Yeah,
and I think that's a scary thought, because the whole thing that we've been talking about this season with everybody in the AFC West, because the Chargers lose at home to the Vikings yesterday. And so the whole thing that we've been talking about this season is the AFC West is open because the Chiefs no longer appear to be the Chiefs. And even at 5-5, even at 5-4, you're sitting there pretty, maybe not so much anymore, because, oh, by the way, you still got to play the Chiefs twice if you're the Denver Broncos.
Oh my God.
Prior to last night, B-Marsh, I thought this was the year. They haven't beaten them since 2015. I thought this was maybe going to be the year. Now I'm not so sure.
How come they couldn't have scheduled them 2 games ago? Right. It might have been okay. It might have been good. It might have been a good game. Nah, now it's looking like, it's going to be another blowout, ugly, because we can't score with them, right? And our defense is looking like they can stop them. So I have no idea.
Yeah. If the Chiefs play like they played last night, which is how most people expected them to play all season long, everybody's in trouble. Not just the Broncos, but everybody's in trouble.
Yeah, that was an MVP type game for Mahomes, though.
Yeah.
35 for 400 plus yards and 5 touchdowns. Yeah. Oh my God.
That's prime time too. He was jacked up for that.
Video game numbers. Now that pass he threw across the field on John Abram and the running back caught it. That's on the defender. It should have been a pick, because sometimes he just does his thing, right? And I'm sure Andy Reid just lets him do his thing. Yeah. But we got to be more sound in that.
Well, and that's how things are going well for the Chiefs, right? Because in prior games, that would have been a pick. But the last couple of seasons, Mahomes has gotten away with that stuff, and now he's away with it again. And you're like, oh, here we go. Here we go.
You got to make him pay, man. Make him pay.
I was impressed by the Bills yesterday. Yes, it was the Jets, but obviously a big bounce back for them. And then I think the team that really impressed everybody was the Patriots and the way that they tied Baker Mayfield in knots. And Mac Jones, man, that dude was throwing some absolute darts yesterday.
Yeah, man, look, he looks like, not even looks, he is the best rookie quarterback right now. Yeah. He is the best rookie quarterback right now. He's in the best situation as well. The best coaching staff. You know, Bill Belichick is going to find ways and you know, they're going to find ways to put him and protect him and to develop him. So I can see Mac being a great starter in this league for a long time. They smacked the Browns. And people trying to blame Odell because last week they killed the Bengals. They're like, oh, it was Odell. No, it's not Odell. I can see it.
That was nice, like a nice little 1 week boost, and then I was like, oh yeah, no, actually, we probably would be better off if we still had him. All right, let's wrap up the show like we always do with Marshall's Sneak Peek. Our sneak peek brought to you by UC Health. With personalized care and locations across Colorado, UC Health is here for you no matter where your story takes you. UC Health, live extraordinary. So B-Marsh, here we go with the Broncos, 5-5. And into the bye week. What do you think is the most important thing for them to do on this week off?
Oh, man, you know, get healthy. I think that's always number one. Number two, they got to find some better defensive chemistry as far as like personnel goes. I like the Kenny Young, you know, acquisition. He's good. The Weatherly and Malik Reed, Jonathan Cooper. I like that. You know, Kenny needs a partner to go with him. First of all, what's going on with Justin Shenault? Is he hurt, or they just don't believe him anymore, or what's going on?
Yeah, that's been interesting, right? His numbers have dropped dramatically as of late. And so Baron Browning goes out yesterday. Curtis Robinson comes in.
Yeah, why wouldn't Justin come in?
And you had Shenault. Shenault was the guy calling the plays earlier in the year.
Yeah. So, I mean, clearly, maybe he lost, you know, maybe the coaching staff lost confidence. Maybe he fell out of favor. And that happens, right? You know, it happens. You know, he might have fell out of favor, but whatever's going on, they just picked back up Avery Williamson, right?
Yes.
That's the guy. I like Avery. That's the guy. That's the guy. Him and Kenny Young. Put Avery in. That's the guy they need to play. And the back end, you know, I think they're still a good secondary for the most part. Kyle Fuller got to do some soul searching himself. He doesn't look comfortable. You know, he's not the all-pro that we saw a couple of years ago. So he has some soul searching because it's the same defense. He ran it in Chicago. Yeah. So I don't know what's going on with him, but, you know, hey, sometimes it happens.
An interesting point that you make about getting healthy. I think that's going to help Pat Surtain, I think that's going to help Reed. Both of those guys obviously played yesterday, but they were questionable kind of leading up to that. Bradley Chubb looks like he's going to be coming back. That obviously is going to help the entire defense. And you hope that Bradley Chubb can stay healthy for the rest of the year. And so I totally agree with you on there. I think that will be a big thing for this team moving forward and hopefully get in the right direction. Let me ask you this. As a former player, you're sitting here, you're 5-5. You were kind of toward the end of your time with the Broncos. You guys were in a lot of these situations where it looked bleak. Yeah. Did you guys honestly believe in that locker room? Hey, look, we could still turn things around.
I'm gonna be honest with you. We just didn't have a quarterback play. So even if we wanted to, look. First of all, we're men. We're competitors. We're very prideful, so we believe regardless, we're going to go out and compete no matter what. But I think in the back of your mind, we knew, we got, you know, and Case was a good quarterback, but it's just what didn't work out. You know, we got Case. This offense isn't going to help carry us to the promised land. Or we have this. You know, Teddy is a good, you know, he's done well for him, but at the same time, it's like, you know, I think something in the back of their mind is telling them like, our offense. Yeah. Well, or the offense is like, the defense, you know, because you know, right now, I think they believe, but it does look bleak, man. It's tough because, you know, naturally you kind of know, like, we don't really have it.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, man, we're sitting here at 5-5 and we just blew a golden chance to be 6-4 heading into the bye week.
And you know you don't have it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you're going to compete still regardless, but you know. And if the media asks, oh, yeah, you know, we got it. We're still on the – well, you know.
Well, and I remember talking to guys who were on those teams that you were on and to you as well. Like, as individuals, you still got to go play because somebody's watching that tape. And your job is on the line. Your livelihood is on the line. So as individuals, you still go play, but at the end of the day, you maybe know, hey, this team, we can go ahead and book something for the middle of January.
Absolutely. I'm going to go ahead and book my flight to Cancun,
Right.
But I'm going to still go hard because I need my money, okay? And I need my job. I got to feed my family and feed myself. But I know, okay, let me go ahead. Let me set this itinerary.
Hey, what's the most wild PG or maybe PG-13 bye week story that you have? Because I know you guys did some fun things on the bye week. I remember coming back and I was talking to one of the players off camera in the locker room, and he was like, Mike, man, I've been out, but we were with Vaughn and we went out. I ain't never been out like that. I was like, oh, okay.
All I'm gonna say is, look, we had rookie parties, and the rookies they funded these parties, and they were extremely fun.
They didn't fund the parties. They were forced to fund the parties.
Exactly, they were forced to fund the parties, and we had a great time. That's all I can say.
All right, fair enough. I'll get the real story off camera. We'll bring it up maybe in a podcast later on the road. Hey, that's going to do it for us today. For my partner, Brandon Marshall, and all of us here at CBSN, I'm Michael Spencer. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. We will talk to you next week here on Upon Further Review with B-Marsh and Michael, presented by WinBet.